Hello and welcome to Community News from the Hill and FrontPage. And we're welcoming you all back to another Beyond Normal lecture series here at Alabama A&M University. And you may have seen the TV show Married to Medicine on Bravo, the Bravo channel. It follows a group of successful and educated women, including doctors and wives of doctors who are committed to the world of medicine in Atlanta, Georgia. One of the doctors is our special guest today here at Alabama A&M University, Dr. Jacqueline Walters. She's an obstetrics and gynecology specialist in Atlanta, Georgia, and she's been practicing for 25 years. She graduated from the University of Mississippi School of Medicine in 1993, and my favorite part, she graduated from our fellow HBCU, Alcorn State University.
Yes.
Welcome to the Hill.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're so glad to have you here as a part of our Women's Week activities here on the Hill, and I'm glad that's being reinvigorated, and you're here to be a part of it.
This is the year of the woman.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Your philosophy is work hard, play hard. At least probably one of your number one philosophies. What are you working hard to achieve these days?
You know what I really want to instill in the world, and my own motto is, I think it changes. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm working hard to work toward retirement, because I don't ever want to retire.
Right.
I'm really working hard now is to just give back. I've learned the one thing you cannot get back is time. And so I'm just giving myself, trying to empower, inspire, invigorate. And I think with the patients, I say you want to be healthy, happy, and wealthy. And if I can give back any of those three things, now I might not be able to give back the wealth, but I can certainly make people happy, and I do a real good job at making them healthy.
Now, in any of this working hard, are you making any of it playtime? Are you playing hard? Is your playing fun?
Now, I don't get a lot of play, but when I do play, my playing is relaxing. Going to someplace quiet, quaint, and just relax. But, you know, laughing with girlfriends, always fun. Shopping, love to shop. But that's my fun. And working out. You know, most people find working out as a task.
A chore.
I look forward to it. I mean, I feel so good after you work out and release those endorphins. I feel good. It just takes me to a whole nother place. It's free medicine, so I enjoy working out.
Well, that's good. I'm going to have to adopt that part.
Try it.
That's going to take a minute, though. You're a two-time breast cancer survivor, and it's hard enough to go through it the first time. But how do you tell the second time that you're in charge and it is not in charge?
That's truly a mindset. Now, finding out I had breast cancer the second time was certainly a lot more traumatic than the first time, because anybody who's ever been diagnosed, your first question is, am I dying? And so it became a mindset. I refused to give in, cave in, and quit. And so it was a mindset for me that I adopted affirmations. I would get up every morning and remind myself, I'm going to live and not die. I'm going to live and not die, and I'm going to be the head and not the tail. I'm going to be above and not beneath. I found affirmations, and I would write them down and say them every day until it became just a part of me. I think persistence and perseverance is so necessary as a woman, as a black woman, and certainly a woman who has been diagnosed with breast cancer and who knew too much.
What does that mean when you say knew too much?
As a physician, I was on both sides of the knife. And I keep talking about, I'm going to write a book one day on being on both sides of the knife. I knew so much about breast cancer as a doctor.
Okay.
I knew very little about it as a patient. And being diagnosed, my first questions were, what's my lymphovascular spaces? Do we have staging ready? You know, I knew too much that I couldn't get answers to. So not only was it hard being diagnosed and being diagnosed a second time, but I didn't have the answers. And as a physician, I needed my answers right now. I even called. Most people talk about getting the phone call. I need to know right now. I picked up the phone and called pathology myself. And so not only did I not get it from my physician to kind of reassure me, I called myself. I wanted to know immediately. Like, tell me my pathology report.
So were you not getting answers because the doctors didn't know, or they just did not have the answers at the time you wanted them?
They did not have the answer at the time I wanted them. I mean, we had just had the surgery on a Friday, a biopsy, and on Monday morning I'm calling like, hey, you got my pathology results. Well, the last thing you think you're going to hear on the phone is, you know, I have bad news. And so that in itself takes you to another place. You know, it's kind of an out-of-body experience if you've ever been told anything like that, and not knowing all the answers. Because I'm planning. I'm already planning. Okay, if it's this, we're going to do this, and if it's that, I didn't have any of the answers. And so I truly became a patient. I didn't have anybody who I could run to and get an answer. I didn't have the answers because breast cancer is a surgical staging. And so the biopsy didn't tell me much except, yes, you have breast cancer.
So you're going through and you've made it through, and what you're at the end of this race, what is the mindset? Especially because you're victorious, you're here. So what is your mindset though? You know,
I did a celebration. I gave a whole big party to the whole chemo center because my thing was I'm never going to see you again, and I want to leave you with something. But when I left there, I started planning, what is it I can do for the next lady who comes behind me? And out of that, we birthed 50 Shades of Pink Foundation, which is a breast cancer foundation that is all about the vanity of breast cancer. Because as women, we want to look good. And the first thing I thought about after the part of am I going to live is my hair. You know, I'm going to lose my hair. Your fingernails are darkened. You know, you change your whole anatomy. So I'm thinking, how can I help somebody who has to come behind me, walk in this chemo center, and feel good? As a woman, we want to look good.
Right.
So in the foundation, we do lipstick, makeup, hair, whatever we can do to comfort and make you look good is what 50 Shades of Pink does.
So how can people get involved with this foundation? I know we hear about the Susan G. Komen Foundation, and you can go online and you can do one click and it helps to have a woman have a mammogram. So what kinds of things do you offer that people can get involved with to help your foundation?
There's a website, 50 shadesofpinkfoundation.org. And again, we definitely take the story. We try to do something that we can, if it's just comforting words to say you can get through this. But we do, again, the vanity. You know, I'm having chemo and I don't like what I look like. And if it's a lipstick we can give you, if it's fingernail polish to cover the dark nails, and then after the surgery, the comforting blankets to kind of just heat up the chest wall. Whatever we could do to make a woman feel good and look good is what we do with 50 Shades of Pink Foundation. But if you go to the website, send us an email. We try and get back in touch with you as soon as I can, considering, you know, I'm working Monday through Friday.
Yes.
But I have a wonderful team.
That is good. That is good. And we feel when we look good, we feel good.
Absolutely.
It goes hand
You know
in
what
hand.
you feel like on Sunday, right? It's that Sunday kind of feel. Yes.
I love that. You've contributed to publications such as Essence and Glamour magazine. In all that you do, how do you find the time to write and to add to these publications, the people reading? How do you find the time?
Now, you know, with technology now, you don't have to do a lot of writing. You can just talk. And
That is
it'll
true.
write for you.
That is true.
So a lot of it, and I have to laugh, and I told him it really started when I had a birthday, and I couldn't see the paper anymore. You know how it is. You need reading glasses.
You need reading glasses.
So now at night when you're trying to write, you can't. You just talk it, and you go back and correct what you had to say. So I can do that in the car. I can do that sitting, waiting on the next patient. So a lot of the contributions I can do just writing. And then, like I said, I have an absolutely wonderful team. I have Ebony here with me today, and I can just tell them what I need. It's done.
It is done. Well, we'll have to look for that. Essence magazine, Glamour magazine, I'm sure there's some other publications that you are out there. Is it cool to have the opportunity to be the healthcare provider to people like Tony Braxton, T.I., and Usher, or is it just another day at the office for you?
Initially, it was quite challenging because celebrities are important to a lot of people.
They want answers.
Right. Well, no, I want it right now, typically, and protecting their privacy. And as I was stating, initially it was very hard because not knowing how to interact and to meet their needs, because when it comes to medicine, we're all pretty similar there. And I can't perform miracles on your health. So now it feels like they're just friends, you know, that they do get to call at weird hours, but we've even got a limitation on that because I have a life. But now they are just like everybody else. I do respect their privacy because everybody wants to know what's going on.
Right.
But talking to them and treat them like everybody else.
How's it important for people to instill self-care into their day-to-day routines?
It's so vitally important, especially as an African-American female. We are typically the last person we think about. We're the momingers, we manage the kids. We're the wifingers, we manage the husbands, and we do everything else. And again, we're the last person we think of. But if you are no good for self, you're no good for anybody else. And so putting your health first, because that's the greatest wealth you can ever have, is your health. And so taking good care of self from a physical and a mental standpoint, and that's a lot of things we don't think about in the African American race, is mental health. Right. It's just, you take care of you and the rest of it will kind of fall in place, or it'll wait. I'm learning that. You know, I don't have to get everything done right now for everybody. And so it's vitally important that we do just the preventive health things if we do anything, because with breast cancer, early detection is your best protection. And just the small things that you could do in every day, and you really have to set your life up for success and not failure, which takes work.
So when women are going through breast cancer, as you have done, is mental health awareness a big component when it comes to recovery?
Oh, it's half the battle. Half the battle. You know, it's your mindset. Because I believe that the whole Mahatma Gandhi is, you know, your belief systems and your thoughts. And your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions, your value system, and your destiny. So the mind talks very loud to you. And I don't know if anybody else, you're not hearing voices. You're hearing thoughts, and your mind will tell you, you're going to fail, you're going to fail. And if you adopt what the mind is telling you and not talk back to your mind, and trust me, I learned this during breast cancer. If I would hear in my head, you're going to die, I would announce it out, because I did like Jesus did. Jesus talked to, you know, if the devil talked to him, he talked back to him. So if the mind is talking to me, I talk back. And so I truly believe through the whole chemo process, I would say it every day. I would declare when I woke up, I will live and not die. And I was not able to work at some points, and I would declare I'm out of debt and all my needs are met. Whatever I needed to see happen, I would decree it out loud. And I'm a firm believer in everything you do, you are your best cheerleader. And if you start talking yourself into a good place, even if you don't see the manifestations happening, you better say it.
Right, and believe it.
Yes.
You say it
and you know, and I'm going to be honest, most people talk about beliefs. Your beliefs come after you start saying it. You know, it takes repetition sometimes, persistence, perseverance to get to a point where you really believe what you're saying. Even if you don't believe it, just keep saying it. I mean, I promise you, for years I would declare I'm out of debt, all my needs are met, I have plenty more to put in store, I walk in the favor of God, and everything I'm involved in, it shall prosper. I woke up one day, I had no debt. Now I shocked myself, because I'm like, wait, I paid everything off. I didn't know how to act. And I'd said it probably 15, 20 years. Student loans, we all know about those.
Yes.
I was declaring that I didn't have any debt. And I think your belief system will come as you keep saying it, keep putting it in your eyes and surrounding yourself with the right people.
Everything in its time.
Yep.
Everything in its time.
Yes.
I experienced a fifth grade teacher who told my mom that I really wasn't going to amount to anything. I needed to go to trade school. That was the best that I can do. So what do you tell young people that are coming up that may hear that kind of negative connotation? Because there's nothing wrong with trade schools, community colleges, two-year colleges. I believe that they're just as necessary as four-year institutions, especially HBCUs.
If that's your choice.
Right.
Exactly.
So what do you tell young people, especially young girls coming up, that they can, how do you tell them they can do whatever they want? They can be whatever they want.
I tell them it's your beliefs that make you whole. You know, so I don't care what anybody tells you. It's what you want to do. And so let them say it. It's okay. Now you can announce back to that person, that's not what I'm going to do. You know, and do it with respect, because I certainly think there's a certain amount of respect we need to keep in line with the teachers, but just say, okay, I mean, that's your belief system. And I don't want to make your belief systems more important than mine. And we teach our young kids that you can be anything you want to be. Don't let anybody else in the world tell you what you can and can't do except you.
How important, I'm going to flip back, if you think back a little bit to your HBCU experience, how vital do you feel HBCUs are today in 2018?
You know what, that's all we knew. You know, I had no choice. My parents said from as third grade, if I can remember, you're going to go to Alcorn State University. That's it. And so I kind of chuckled when I saw the college tour that I saw across the street. I'm like, we didn't have any tours. My parents said, you're going to Alcorn, that's it. And you know, we talked about going to some of the other HBCUs, obviously, but it was like, that's not a choice. And so we wouldn't be who we are today, and I don't think the world would be who it is for African Americans had there not been HBCUs.
Right.
And now, you know, with diversity, I think we're losing a little bit of our culture and what we stand for. So I think having HBCUs like right here and Alcorn and all the others is so vitally important to the success of African Americans.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Well, I applaud what you are doing
Thank
in
you.
Married to Medicine. I think is important, getting the word out.
Yes.
You can be an actress, and you can be on TV. You can also
Anything
still be
you want to be. 'Cause
caregiver.
really, with Married to Medicine, and I have to be open and honest, I felt like I was asked to be a mentor. And of course I accepted, like, sure, I can do this. And very first scene, I'm looking like, no, I can't do this. And so I talked to the producers on how to get off the show. Well, you know when you sign a contract, or if you don't know when you sign a contract, it's a contract. And you need to read the fine print. Because the fine print said, you certainly can get off this show, but you pay this much to get off the show. You pay me. And you're thinking, okay, I'll come back for another scene. And here we are, starting season 6 next week. And it's probably one of the best mistakes I ever made.
Okay. Silver
Right.
lining for you.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it has been.
Well, you continue to make it be to your benefit and to the viewers'
Absolutely.
benefits. They can learn something from what you're doing. And we appreciate you coming here to
Thank
Alabama
you.
A&M University.
I'm
Your fellow
excited.
HBCU. We're glad
Yes.
you're here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being a part of Women's Week and the Beyond Normal lecture series, and also wonderful tea time for the women of Alabama A&M University. I'm Erica Fox, and for Dr. Jacqueline Walters, thank you so much for tuning in to Community News from the Hill and Front Page. Please have a great day.